Guys, I don't know what to tell you. It's been one hell of a week. A friend of mine recently introduced me to the concept that is Noah Centineo. Just based off his face, I was like, this is not a guy who I enjoy. He's really hot stuff though, apparently. I mean, he's gonna be in the new Charlie's Angels movie coming out in a few weeks. So I was curious, way too curious, and at some point decided to torture myself for your entertainment and watch all his films and rank them. But before we get into any of that, I want to thank today's sponsor, Privacy. Privacy is a free service that lets you create a virtual card for you to use whenever you do any online shopping. Let's say you want to read the To All the Boys I've Loved Before book. If you have the Chrome extension, it only takes one click for you to make that virtual card and get on your way. Plus, you can even set spending limits for yourself. On the free plan, you can make 12 cards a month, which is great as is, but if you want a little something more, they have two other versions. You can get the Pro plan, which is $10 a month, which includes 1% cash back on all purchases, 30 cards a month, and more security and privacy features, plus everything the free plan got you. Or if you own a small business, you can get the team plan, which is $25 a month. With this, you can get everything you had before, plus a dedicated account manager, access to 60 cards a month, and transaction limits tailored to your business needs. But guys, here's the best part about it all. If you go to privacy.com/Karsten, you can get $5 off whatever your first purchase is with the service. Literally, if there's anything you want online, that's $5 off of that thing. Why would you not use that? So once again, go to privacy.com/Karsten or click on the link in the description to get started today. Now, I'd like to acknowledge right off the bat that apparently Drew Gooden has also done a video on all of Noah's movies, which has since been deleted. I never saw that video, so if I accidentally repeat anything he said, just know it's completely unintentional. Trust me, if I had known this video existed before I watched all of his movies, I would not have watched all of these movies. But yeah, if you're wondering what I watched, it was To All the Boys I've Loved Before, SPF 18, Swiped, How to Build a Better Boy, The Perfect Date, and Sierra Burgers, or whatever it's called. I have a headache just saying the titles. For the sake of entertainment, I'll be going in order from best to worst, so let's not waste any more time, let's get into it. So first off, we got To All the Boys I've Loved Before, directed by Susan Johnson. This is a film from 2018 about a girl whose love letters get leaked and everything that ensues after that. I think we can all agree this is his best film at the end of the day, but I don't know if it's critically acclaimed. Let's be honest with ourselves. Well, here's the deal. I don't think this is actually a bad film at all. It's just insanely not my thing. I did not have a great time watching this. I was bored out of my mind. I think it lacks a whole lot of style and voice. I think the story is mediocre, and to be honest, it's just way too corny for me. But that's the thing, this movie isn't meant for me. I don't think it necessarily needs any of that to work. For what it is, it pretty much nails what it wants to deliver to its target audience and does so in a way that isn't stupid, at least compared to his other films. His performance is fine. I don't know how it couldn't be, considering he's played the same character for like 4 years before getting here. He has no excuse. It's really just a slightly below average movie, which when we put it in the context of his other films is an absolute masterpiece. So I guess good job, Susan, you made something special. Next we got The Perfect Date. Really kind of hilarious how fast we've already gotten to the shitty stuff. This movie sucks ass. Oh my god. The thing about The Perfect Date is that it's kinda Noah's big thing. It's the first time he feels like the star of the show, and let me tell you, that is an awful thing. He is so annoying and douchey and unlikable throughout the entire movie. Here's how I'll put it. You know that one dude in high school who always talked in like mom and dad humor to come off as likable as possible to as many people as possible, and everyone kinda hated him because of that? That's Noah in this entire movie. They took the most boring people you knew in high school and made them the main characters in the film. Why does he look like this all the time? This story is boring as fuck, but I could see it being like dumb fun if Noah wasn't so trying to be cute and quirky at all times. In all honesty, it's probably just the most boring thing here. When your main character is this uninteresting and as hard to watch as this, I really have no incentive to keep watching or feel at all invested. The only thing that makes it the second best thing he's done is it feels like a movie. Does that give you any idea of what I'm working with here? Next we got Sierra Bugs, another Netflix film. Wow, would you look at that? This thing is also boring and uninteresting as shit, but it also comes with a hint of just problematic bullshit. Noah does what he can with this script. He really isn't the worst part about it, although it's not like he really killed it by any means.
Yo. Hey!
I'm talking about Sierra Blogger, or whatever the fuck her last name is. She sucks, dude! She's manipulative, she's crazy, nothing happened that gives her any reason to do any of the shit she does. She's just a piece of shit, and she's supposed to be the one we're rooting for. I won't spend too much time talking about her just because it's already been addressed to death, but aside from that, this movie is also just the dumbest shit. One scene of high schoolers talking about Plato and Nietzsche is cringe enough. The fact that it happens way too many times in the movie is enough to make me want to vomit. The Stranger Things ripoff of a score makes no goddamn sense because this takes place in current day, not the 80s. In short, this whole film felt like a shitty Target ad. Noah once again has this voice that's so irritating and not sexy. I'm not about to do an impression because that's not possible. I just need him to open his throat a little, but not in that. You get what I'm saying. But once again, this film does understand the concept of editing and the basic fundamentals of filmmaking, and everything after this throws all that shit out the window. Next up, we got How to Build a Better Boy, a Disney Channel original movie, and I believe the earliest film on this list. That is what I thought at the time I initially recorded this, but apparently Turkles, his actual first film, is available on Prime. Great. I'm barely gonna talk about this one just because it genuinely, I don't think, is supposed to be a movie. If you have seen this film, at this point you know it's just a video, you know? They made a video. It's not even eligible to be on this list.
The environment. It's all about the environment, man.
Yes, I did watch the whole thing. We're moving on. So anyways, back to How to Build a Better Boy. This 2014 film is directed by Paul Hohen, and it's about two teen girls who build a better boy. Ain't that crazy? Now this is also in the same camp as To All the Boys because this is also a film that is very clearly meant for children. I don't think 22-year-old dudes like myself were the target audience here. But here's what I'll say. There are other Disney Channel original movies that feel kind of fun. This is just stupid and unwatchable. Like, okay, sometimes I'll accidentally find myself in a situation where I'm watching something meant for kids, and I can see why the humor is for children. With this, I don't understand how any of this is supposed to be funny besides maybe him doing the push-ups with his finger. I know you came here for this guy though, so I'll brush over how he did. This is early in his career, so I'll cut him some slack, but yeah, I mean, Noah, if you're gonna be in a shit movie, at least bring some cool to it. At least come off as hot as everyone in the film apparently thinks you are. Like, what is this move in this shot? It makes no sense. These last two were borderline experimental. I'm genuinely not sure they even count as movies, but here we are. They are both equally bad, but one was slightly better than the other, and it was SPF 18. Jesus Christ, this quote-unquote movie is a little over an hour, and it still feels way too long. It's like a combination of porn and a music video minus any of the shit that makes those two types of videos what they are. I'm gonna be honest, I still don't even know what this film is about. It all felt like an awful trip. They're staying at Keanu Reeves' house, and he's actually in the movie. Keanu, who did this to you? Hands down, the best line of this entire thing in Noah's entire filmography is this one.
It makes me so sad that we as a society are still so inflexible about public nudity.
What nudity? I'm writing him up for having a sleepover on state property.
Basically, these kids stay at Keanu's place for some reason, and one of them wants to be a country star. I forgot about this part. He's so bad at singing. This one girl uploads his video onto YouTube. It gets like 2,000 views, and these record executives see this performance and go,
"Send a cease and desist. You find that kid."
And then he ends up trying to get with this girl that Noah was with, I think. Who is she? I just realized we know nothing about this girl in this movie. And then there's the lifeguard, who has like the personality of a rock. I kid you not. He was like, I was voted most likely to end up at the beach, which, like, sick, man. Probably my favorite scene in this entire movie is when halfway through the film, this girl goes, "Have you heard of lucid dreaming?" The way my jaw dropped when she said that shit, I tell ya. What comes next is so much better than I was expecting. It's like the most half-assed attempt at a trip sequence, but he isn't tripping, he's just lucid dreaming. I'll be honest, I left my body for a few seconds, so honestly impressive, but it wasn't like in a cool way. If we're talking about trips, now might be a good time to randomly bring up this clip of Noah.
For sure, I'd love to branch out and do some more auteur work, like with filmmakers like Gaspar Noé, or, you know, the Coen brothers, or the Nolan brothers.
Can we all just take a moment to process him being in anything not a rom-com, let alone a French extremity film? I just know Noah wished he was the lead in Love. I just know it. But anyways, there is so much more to this film. There's the music, there's the awful surfing montage. I'm literally convinced this was filmed in the span of 2 days and there was no script. Why is he randomly so into playing the saxophone, and why is he playing it in a tent on the beach? If you can believe it, this wasn't the worst thing I watched from Noah. There was something more surreal, more incomprehensible, and more offensive for a lot of reasons. And that movie is Swiped. Now, Danny Gonzalez, as well as a lot of YouTube people, have done their time with this film, so I'll keep things relatively simple. We all know the hits. There's the line where Noah says, "Bimbo flying, somebody catch her." There's the fact that they're saying the most misogynistic shit in a library where everyone can hear them. There's the fact that not a single thing about this film makes any sense. The thing about Swiped compared to SPF 18 is that SPF 18 actually feels like some artistic choices were made in regards to the cinematography and tone. It has a thing going for it, albeit not a good thing, but it's got a thing. Swiped is worse than a student short film. This is like a high school short film. This feels like someone did the absolute bare minimum with their production, but on a big budget, and it was edited by a freshman in college. It is horrendous. I'm amazed that this thing exists and is on Netflix, and like, people worked on it. Like, actual human beings worked on this film. Imagine saying you worked on Swiped. Imagine that. It follows a very Noah Centineo plot where it's just a kid making an app exclusively for hooking up with girls and things go wrong. Every character in this movie is hilariously awful and cringe to watch. The mom from Good Luck Charlie is in this. So bad. At one point she's taking a selfie when she's drunk and you can see the cameraman in the screen. The funniest technical thing about this movie is the night shots where they clearly just gave up at that point in the film and just said, fuck it, let's have a random light shining on them in the dark as they walk down the sidewalk. Because that's what happens to me when I walk home at night. There's always a big shining light in front of me. A lot of these shots are one takes, like they don't cut to any closer shots, which again makes me feel like they just gave up and rushed things for who knows what kind of reasons. It is just barely a movie. Not to mention the god awful structure of this thing. Holy shit. When it decides to focus on a character, it really focuses on that character to a point where it turns into a different movie. We're completely focused on whatever subplot this mom is going through for like 30 minutes while Noah is running around doing God knows what. Folks, do you see this poster? I mean, the ending happens and then there's like another 20 minutes attempting to wrap up this half-assed relationship that doesn't matter in any goddamn way. It just, there really, and I genuinely mean this, is not a single decent thing about this film. It is visible. That's all I can say. The sound design sucks, the editing sucks, the cinematography, the performances, the music, holy shit, it all sucks. I can now say I have a least favorite movie. This is it. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. SPF 18 is bad in a hilarious way. This shit is just infuriating to get through. Shit, I'm never doing that again. I'd like to point out I watched all these films in the span of 3 days, and when you fit that much Noah Centineo into a brief period of time, it does something to you. So with that being said, I'm gonna go watch Parasite like 10 different times to cleanse my brain. Don't forget to go to privacy.com/Karsten Runquist, do yourself a favor, and don't watch any of these films, and I'll see you guys in the next one.